afternoon, everyone. I will be demonstrating eyebrow sculpting today. I know we all agree at one point in our lives we have witnessed bad brow faux pas. For example, the scary comma brow or long division brow, the unibrow, and as I like to refer to, the Dixie brow. Yes, hope that you can all see this. I'll pass it around in just a moment. But here's your unibrow, the comma brow, and the Dixie brow. You can pass that along so you can see it. And I will get started on letting you guys know what we need, the materials we need to complete the eyebrow sculpting. Eyebrows speak louder than words. You want to emphasize your face. Materials required for sculpting the perfect brow include a melting pot, wax for the melting pot, cloth wax strips, which I've already cut up to make this procedure a little bit faster, popsicle sticks, a light colored or white eyebrow pencil, tweezers, a flat card, store card, I happen to be using an iTunes card, a clean mascara wand or eyebrow brush, wax removal cream or calming cream. So let's begin sculpting the eyebrows. To begin, you need to set the perfect guideline. For each person's eyebrow is going to be different. So this is how you find that perfect shape. Take your light colored pencil, your store card, your iTunes card, and your eyebrow brush. We're going to start to sculpt the middle of the eyebrow. In order to do so, you will take the eyebrow brush and place it on the bridge of the nose. So that means anything on this side of the eyebrow brush would need to be removed. So take your pencil and just make a little guide, little line. Most people want to start here with their eyebrow, but you would actually be taking half of it off. So place it on the bridge of the nose, make your guideline. Same thing for the opposite side. Place the eyebrow brush on the nostril, bridge of the nose, make a tiny line. That's your guide. So moving on to the tail of the eyebrow. To know where the eyebrow needs to stop, place your eyebrow brush at the corner of your nostril, and it should also end at the corner of the eye. Make a little mark. That's your next guideline. Oh, excuse me, lost my card. I'm going to finish up on this side, making the tail. Place your eyebrow brush into the nostril, corner of the eye, make a little line. And what I do is I use my card. Just kind of connecting the dots here. You're just basically tracing a line. We're making an angle because your next line is going to be your arch. Now on men, my handsome nephew here was so sweet to volunteer, I'm going to show you how to make the arch on a male. A male doesn't want that big high arch, so what you would do is you take your eyebrow brush, and he's actually going to look straight at me. You hold the eyebrow brush at the center of the nostril, and you actually angle it toward the pupil. It wants to go directly to the pupil, and that should be where your line connected. So, knowing that I've already demonstrated the first line and connected them, that's where the arch should actually begin. So we will, again, go on this side of the eye, place your eyebrow brush, center of the nostril, it's looking directly at me, it will go directly across the pupil. Mark your line. So that means your arch would start in the middle. After you place your guidelines, you're going to begin your wax application. For this, your trusty popsicle sticks. I break mine in half, just because you have more, and you really don't need a whole lot of wax. Dip into the wax pot. How you test to make sure that it's not going to burn your client, you want to put a little bit on the back of your hand and just make sure it's not hot, okay? And it wasn't, didn't burn me, it's not going to burn you. Using popsicle stick, dip into the wax, get a thin layer. and you're going to begin shaping the upper and lower perimeter portion of the eyebrow. I do this in 4 steps. So we're going to go lower perimeter first. You apply the thin layer of wax toward the direction of the hair growth. Remember, this is important. The thin layer of wax should be applied toward the direction of hair growth. Then take your wax strip, press firmly to the wax, and smooth toward the hair growth. Next, you should pull in one swift motion to remove the wax and the lovely hair. Sorry, Mikey. Going on to the second part of the eye. We are still staying on the bottom perimeter of the eye. So, you apply a thin layer of wax. Using your guideline, you already know where that arch is, so you know what hair needs to be removed. Apply the thin layer toward the direction of the hair growth. Apply the wax strip. Press firmly and remove in one swift motion. Use your eyebrow brush, comb back, and as you can see, the bottom perimeter of his eye is finished. So yes, most people will tell you do not wax the top of your eyebrow. That's actually incorrect. You want to clean up all of the hair around the eyebrow. So, beginning with the perimeter of the top of the eyebrow, use the same guideline. Apply the thin layer of wax. Press your waxing strip firmly. Remove in one swift motion in the opposite direction of the hair growth. This is really important. You must move in the opposite direction of the hair growth. When you're smoothing the wax on, you go in the direction of the hair. When you're removing it, you go the opposite, or otherwise it's just going to stick to his face. The last step, finishing the top portion of the eyebrow. Continue to use your guideline. Apply the thin layer of wax toward the hair growth. Apply your wax strip, pressing firmly, smoothly. Remove in one quick motion. Done. You can already see that that eyebrow, compared to the other, even with the guidelines still on, is perfect. Well, almost perfect. I'm going to show you some tricks at the end to finish it up. You would repeat each step that I have just shown you on the opposite eye. And I'm going to do that very quickly so that you can watch me once again. Using my same guidelines, I'm on the bottom portion of the eyebrow, applying the wax toward the hair growth, pressing the strip firmly, and removing in the opposite direction of the hair growth in one swift motion. And Mikey may have tears coming here, but I think he's going to make it. Doing the final side of the eyebrow. If at any time that your eyebrows get out of order, just make sure you keep them combed up and out of the way. Apply a thin layer of wax on the bottom portion. Smooth your wax strip. Make sure you press firmly and remove in the direction away from the hair growth. Okay. Now you're ready to finish the top perimeter. the eyebrow. Apply a thin layer toward the hair growth. Apply your wax strip, pressing firmly, and remove in the opposite direction of the hair growth. One more time on this side, and I'll show you how to do the center. Apply the thin layer. Apply your wax strip. And remove in the opposite direction of the hair growth. As you can see that Mikey already looks totally different. His eyebrows have that perfect shape. I will show you how to clean up the center. When you're doing the center, you need to pay attention to the direction that you're going to apply the wax. So you apply the thin layer of wax in an upward motion, because you need to go into the direction of the hair growth, making sure that you are staying in between those two guidelines that we just made. Because if you get too far over, you're going to remove too much hair. Press firmly on your waxing strip and remove in the opposite direction of the hair growth. Gone. And you can see that the guideline's still on him, but the eyebrows totally matched to everything we wanted. The arch, which is not a female arch, it is a male arch. Last thing that I normally do is you will comb the eyebrows up, never downward. Always come up and only trim what loose hairs are hanging above. That is a light trim. Being careful not to remove anything, you're only shaping that brow. The procedure that I'm also showing you works for females. Just make sure you have your own personal eyebrow shape. And by using that guideline, that's going to give you your personal eyebrow shape. Repeating the trimming process on the other eye. Only lightly. Last but not least, you will apply the calming cream. I use coconut oil. It's all natural. It is soothing. It's going to nourish the skin. Shake a little bit out. Wipe it on the brow. And it will remove any excess wax. And also help the redness. And as you can see, we totally wiped away our guideline. And that is how you sculpt the perfect eyebrow.
Good job.
Turned out pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't look